So here we have the bag K, and let's see what there is inside. So here we will have the side quartz, and then we'll have the front and rear skid plate, and also the front bumper, and also the front and rear dog bones. Yeah. So this one we can start by installing the side quartz. Take the screws for this. They are here. And what we like to do sometimes with the plastic side quartz is that we cut them from here, just save some weight, and the car will be a bit more open from the rear, so the air will go through a bit better. But if you are driving on a muddy conditions or something like that, it's really good to have this back curve here. So yeah, let's take the chassis and let's install these screws. So this side is ready now. Let's do the other one. And yeah, here we have one countersunk, or actually two countersunk screws. Those are because of nitro car basically. But yeah, here we just put these on. And these screws, like all of these side quartz screws, you don't want to over tight, because otherwise you could break the plastic quite easily when giving too much pressure underneath the screw. So basically don't tighten the screws too much. Okay, now the side quartz are on, and then we can take out these from the packaging, these skid plates. And that's amazing feature about this all of the Mayako chassis, that will have a skid plate in front here like this, and also in the rear like this. So if we are running like a track which is super rough for the chassis, it's good just to change the skid plate and not the whole chassis. So you will save quite much money in that scenario. So yeah, here we will just put the steering rack on, the two of these screws, and then we'll take some Loctite for this. With these screws, you need to be careful that you don't put too much Loctite, otherwise it can go inside the bearing, so it will get stuck. So this, you need to be a little bit careful about how much you will put the Loctite in. But you shouldn't have any problem if you put the right amount. Like I usually fill the threads just with the Loctite, so it's not too much. Now that's there, and we can put the front end on. And for the front end, we are not going to use any spacer underneath the chassis, between the chassis and the gearbox, because we are going to run the front diff low at start. And here we will have a bit longer screws for the front. Like these, and bit shorter ones for the back of the chassis. Now we can screw them on. And now the front end is done, and what I actually forgot was the dog bone, but actually that will be easier for you to put it like on, like you screw on the front and rear end and then take out the center diff and put the drive shafts in, so that will be a bit easier. But here, as you can see, there is some O-rings that comes with the this bag, and they will go actually here to the out drive in front, as you can see. Oh, now it went the wrong way. It's supposed to go in there, not out from there. So you can just take that and basically just take the drive shaft and feed it there nicely. So it will be there, and you need to just check it that it's laying there perfectly. Yeah, that's basically how you want it to be there. So that will be there if you hit something, there is something to reduce the power of the hit by the dog bone, so it doesn't break the gearbox or something like that. So that's actually super good to have. And then we take the rear end, and yeah, like I mentioned when I installed the diff, we need to put the grease also here under the diff, like so. I usually like to do it like this, because otherwise it could mess up your table, like the grease would be everywhere then. But like this, you will just put it just before you put it into the car, so that's good. And here I use the Ultimate gearbox Teflon grease, so that's perfect fit for that. Yeah, now when we put the grease on, we can just install it here like so, and then we can take the skid plate and put the screws through the holes like so. That will screw this on. Now the front and rear end is on, and then there was two of these screws left, and they are for this steering plate on top. This we will put a little bit of Loctite, and here also don't put too much, because otherwise it can go again between the plate and the bearing, so the bearing can get stuck. So just a little amount here, and we screw them in like this. That's perfect. Then we can take out this center diff so we can mount the drive shafts in. This is just like, you can do it at the same time when you are doing putting the front and rear end on, but I would say that this will be a bit easier this way to do it for you. So basically just take this center diff mount out and then fit the drive shaft there and the smaller one there, like this way, like here, and then just raise them a bit and they will be fitting there nicely. So now they are on, then we can screw these back in like so. Boom, we are done.